Themba, just your reaction as a man. I mean, you're one of the people who's always said that, not in your name, of course, that is also within the decision that you decided to call your organization, that was because you're trying to keep men away from doing such things. But it seems some men are not hearing you.
Hi, and thank you so much for having us. First of all, we just want to say that we really welcome the judgment from the court that has actually made sure that this Masoyi monster has been given 150 years basically in prison. And these are the type of life sentences that we need in order to, make sure that we get would-be perpetrators to understand that we're a country that moves by law, and to make sure that, heinous crimes in this country are going to be persecuted. However, as you know, that the current femicide rate in South Africa is 5.1 times higher than anywhere in the world. And gender-based violence is spiraling out of order. It is really a pandemic in this country. And as men, we need to be able to call out one another and be able to expose those amongst us who actually, perpetrate these types of violence against women and children, particularly in our country. And we need to make sure that we are really fighting this scourge. And it's going to take, all hands to be on deck, especially men who claim that they are not abusers, especially men who claim that they are, worried and caring about what is happening in our country when it comes to issues of femicide and murders. We need to make sure that, we come together, and not only in speech only, not only in offices and, just talking and having good ideas and things like that, but we need to be practically on the ground, visiting places such as Mashisanyama, pubs, sports fields and so on, and creating awareness around the issue of, femicide and gender-based violence, and to make men understand that, the emancipation of women is a fundamental human right, and that women are not lesser beings than you, and you cannot go around killing people and maiming people just because they are women, or just because you feel emasculated by them.
And I mean, for the fact that this man was only 24 when he was arrested for these crimes, and having killed 5 women already in 1 year, it means if police didn't actually find him and arrest him, we could have been talking about a higher number by now.
Definitely. I mean, this is a real serial killer in the making. It is somebody who is devoid of any desire to be amongst human beings, particularly women. It shows you that this person is a deeply, deeply injured and deeply wounded person inside, and that this person really deserves the sentence that he got. We are so thankful that the police and the court of law have finally come to this point where they have actually made sure that he'll never see the light of day. And also the other perpetrator that's also been found here in Gauteng now recently. And, what we need is to make sure when these people are arrested, they are prosecuted as quickly and as venomously as possible, so that, they understand that we're a country that is governed by law, and we will not tolerate such people. And then also we need communities to be very active on a daily basis. You are your brother's keeper. We need to make sure that, we know where our friends are, and checking on our neighbors and everybody that we hang around with. And those who are suspect around us, let us, make sure that they are uncomfortable in our communities. Let us make sure that, perpetrators know that we are not going to stand for this, and we are saying not in my name to that. We really need to, be active on the ground with regards to that. And which brings me to another issue that, last year, you remember the president gave over $1 billion to GBV, but we need an audit when it comes to that, because we want to know what's happening on the ground. Where has that money gone to? Why do we see more of these things happening where money has gone out for programs of gender-based violence and femicide in the country? What has happened to those funds? who has benefited from those funds, which communities are benefiting from it, because as far as we are and where we are standing, very little has been done. Very little communities are actually benefiting from the cases of gender-based violence. And organizations seem to be, self-funding to get into far-flung areas, rural areas and townships and places where these places are happening. But we will continue the struggle, we will continue the fight, and I believe eventually we'll win.
All right. I want to just quickly bring in the father aspect of this. We've seen a lot of statistics showing that if a father is absent in his child's life, especially a boy, then they don't have a father figure to teach them how to be a man, right? In this particular instance in Mpumalanga, the father spoke to my colleague Stindolo Masigani, and he said that he was shocked. The family is in disbelief that he's been arrested and sentenced for such a crime. And he, in fact, says that the family is even basically fighting amongst themselves because of this.
100%. As you know, the statistics in South Africa is that almost 70% of homes are fatherless, and young men do not have father roles, and the positive impact in their lives with regards to fathers. However, even those who do have fathers, and even those who are raised right, children and people actually make up their own choices and decisions. And that is why it's important as parents, as communities, to also make sure that we look after the boy child, and because a neglected boy child grows up and becomes then the perpetrator in future. So it's not just about us, being there in terms of financial support to children, but it's also making sure that you are there emotionally, spiritually. You are there also to guide the young men in the right way, teaching them right and wrong from day one, making them understand that they are friends with their female counterparts. And next month, Not In My Name will be running a boy-child program. It's annual. In March, we have young boys that we take them out to camp, and we have such discussions with them, and hopefully they'll come right in future.
All right. Thank you very much, Themba, for your time here on ENCN.